7 brands, every one of them famous. Every one of them sitting in amateur bags right now. And according to 2025 independent robot testing, the most comprehensive ball test ever conducted, every one of them is failing the golfer playing it in at least one critical performance category they have never been told about. The betrayal is not the price, it is the gap between what the brand name promises and what the data proves. Here is what the robot found. The Titleist logo carries a promise. Premium construction, tour-level performance, the brand that owns the tour market. The Velocity wears that logo and charges you for it. The robot test delivered a different verdict. In the 2025 MyGolfSpy ball test, the Titleist Velocity produced some of the lowest wedge spin numbers in the entire 62 ball field, roughly 1/3 of the TaylorMade TP5 at the 35-yard wedge distance. 1/3. At 35 yards, the TP5 generated 6,026 revolutions per minute of backspin. The Velocity produced 2,058. On chip and pitch shots, it launches high and releases forward with almost no ability to check. MyGolfSpy described it plainly. It runs out with no chance to stop. The Velocity has a firm ionomer cover, not urethane. That is the source of the problem. Ionomer covers cannot generate the groove friction that produces greenside spin. The 2025 test confirmed that not a single ionomer ball in the entire 62 ball field could deliver competitive greenside spin rates. The Velocity is the worst of them. Golfers buying this ball see a Titleist logo and assume tour performance. What they get is one of the lowest spinning balls in the test at a price point that implies the opposite. If you want distance and do not care about stopping the ball on the green, it is functional. If you expect the Titleist name to deliver complete performance, you will be disappointed every time your ball rolls 10 feet past the flag. Callaway Supersoft. The name is the marketing. Soft sounds forgiving. Soft sounds like it will feel good and perform well across the bag. The 2025 MyGolfSpy test found something specific and damaging. The Supersoft was long off irons at mid-swing speed, but that distance came from low spin and bounce, not carry. It produced exceptionally low spin rates across every club in the test. MyGolfSpy's verdict. If you buy the Supersoft thinking it is a complete ball, the flat trajectory and lack of spin will disappoint you every time you need a shot to check up. The ball will not hold greens. Chips will not stop. The greenside performance you expect from a Callaway ball at this price is not in this model. The Supersoft fits one specific player, someone who prioritizes softer feel and minimizing side spin off the tee, and genuinely does not need greenside spin. The problem is that is not who Callaway markets it to. The marketing says soft and complete, the data says soft and slow with no short game. TaylorMade SpeedSoft lives up to its name off the tee. Ultra-low compression launches the ball easily. The speed is real in the driver distance numbers. Then you get to the wedge. The SpeedSoft's ultra-low compression dampens groove friction on partial swings, the exact shots that separate average golfers from good ones. The result is a ball that rolls out far more than most golfers expect on pitch shots and chips around the green. MyGolfSpy placed it among the lowest greenside spin performers in the 2025 test field, alongside the Velocity and the Supersoft. The SpeedSoft is a distance ball sold as a complete performance option. The name implies both speed and soft greenside feel. The independent data confirms speed. The greenside feel does not translate to spin. If you are losing strokes around the green and playing a SpeedSoft, the ball is part of the problem. Pinnacle Soft. In the Today's Golfer 2025 robot test across 62 models, the Pinnacle Soft finished last. Not near the bottom. Last. It was the shortest ball in the entire test, nearly 10 yards shorter off the driver than the Callaway Chrome Tour at average swing speeds. 10 yards is the difference between a 7-iron and a 9-iron on your approach shot. The scorecard notices even when you do not. The Pinnacle brand carries decades of recognition as an accessible mainstream option. The data says accessible and slow. The greenside performance is in line with its distance numbers, among the worst in the entire field. If you are playing Pinnacle because it is cheap, The Srixon Soft Feel at $23 a dozen delivers a dramatically better test result at a comparable price point. There is no performance argument for the Pinnacle Soft in the 2025 data. Bridgestone E12 HiLaunch. The HiLaunch designation is accurate. This ball launches high. High launch off the tee, high launch off the irons, high launch off the wedges. The problem is that high launch combined with low spin produces the opposite of what most golfers need around the greens. A ball that floats, lands soft, and releases rather than checks. In the Today's Golfer 2025 test, it finished 4th worst of the entire 62 ball field. The E12 is Bridgestone's entry-level offering, and the HiLaunch compounds the design limitations with a cover that cannot generate competitive greenside spin. Bridgestone makes genuinely excellent tour balls. The Tour BRX and Tour BXS both perform well in independent testing at the right swing speeds. The E12 HiLaunch is a different product category wearing the same brand name. Srixon UltiSoft. Srixon's best balls are among the highest rated in independent testing. The Z-Star Diamond finished near the top of the 2025 MyGolfSpy field across multiple categories. The UltiSoft finished tied for 2nd worst. The UltiSoft is an ionomer 2-piece ball at the entry level of Srixon's range. Today's Golfer 2025 robot test placed it in the bottom 5 of the entire 62 ball field, tied with the MaxFly Soft Fly with an average ranking of 56 across all tested performance categories. Distance is below average. Greenside spin is among the lowest in the test. The only advantage the UltiSoft offers is price, and at $23 a dozen, the Srixon Soft Feel from the same brand dramatically outperforms it in every category that matters. The brand name creates a halo that the product does not deserve. Wilson makes the Triad, one of the most underrated, best value urethane balls in the 2025 test field. They also make the Duo Soft, which finished 4th worst in the Today's Golfer 62 ball robot test with an average ranking of 55. The Duo Soft is marketed on feel, the softest feel in the Wilson lineup, engineered for golfers who want the gentlest response off every club face. What the test confirmed is that ultra-soft construction trades away spin and distance in ways that cost golfers on every shot except the putt. Low driver distance, low greenside spin. The softest feel in the bag is not an asset if the ball cannot hold the green or carry the bunker. Wilson's own better products, the Triad and the Staff model, are in completely different performance tiers from the Duo Soft. The same brand name is doing different jobs, and the marketing never tells you which job the Duo Soft is actually built for. The 3 that are actually worth it. The 2025 data is unambiguous about what works. Every high-performing ball in the test has one thing in common: a urethane cover. The greenside spin gap between urethane and ionomer in the 2025 test was nearly 4,000 RPM from top to bottom. That gap is not a preference, it is physics. The TaylorMade TP5 led the entire 2025 field for 35-yard wedge spin at 6,026 RPM, the highest stopping power of any ball tested. At $55 a dozen, it is not cheap, but it delivers what every ball on this list promises and fails to produce. The MaxFly Tour X at $39.99 a dozen punched above its price point in the 2025 test, delivering short game spin numbers not far from tour level performance while leading the entire field in driver distance. 3 PGA Tour wins in 2025. The price gap versus the Pro V1 is $15 a dozen. The performance gap in the robot test is negligible. The Kirkland Signature Performance Plus at $17.50 a dozen produced 8,043 revolutions per minute of backspin on wedge shots in independent TrackMan testing. More than the Pro V1's 7,245, a urethane cover at warehouse pricing. The 2025 MyGolfSpy test named it the great buy of the entire field. 7 famous brands. 7 documented performance failures the packaging never discloses. The logo on the box is not a performance guarantee. The robot test is. Which ball have you been playing? Drop it in the comments. Subscribe, we follow the data, not the advertising.